everyone, it's Jessica from Cupcakes, Rings, and Glittery Things. I had a video request, and I was actually in the process of working on a video like the request, so I thought this would be a good fit. People were wondering, since my vegan focus, or my focus has now gone more vegan. I've been a vegan for 7 years, vegan eater for 7 years, and this year I got rid of all of my leather shoes and accessories, so any animal byproducts, they are now gone. I talk frequently about health. Sorry, my camera here is messing up, but I talk frequently about health foods, eating a raw food diet. I don't do that every day, but I do eat raw and mostly gluten-free and obviously all vegan. But I had a request to talk about the Vitamix, and what I wanted to do was a comparison video, Vitamix versus the juicer. My juicer is the Omega 8006. So I thought this would be a good time to do so. I will juice for you. I'm not going to run the Vitamix, mainly because I have no need to use it today, and it's super loud. So I just want to talk about it, what the uses between a blender and a juicer are, because I think some people aren't super sure of it, or you know, they want to know what is the best product for them. And ideally it really may come down to what is the better product, not necessarily that you need both. You may want both, but what is the best for you at the moment? I was lucky enough to receive this fabulous Vitamix as a gift, so I did not pay for it, but this is the Vitamix Creations. This retails at $499 base price. There are other options on this blender that comes with different attachments. You can get a smaller size, different equipment that comes with it. I believe, I know mine did, but I believe that all of them, they come with cookbooks. For the actual blender that it is. So this cookbook is pretty in-depth, going down, breaking things down by healthier foods, beverages, milkshakes, soups, dips, sauces, dressings, desserts, etc., etc., etc. I actually have never used this. Call me a mad scientist in the kitchen, but I like to play around and make things according to how I like them. But it does have a lot of great recipes. It's not that I haven't considered it, it's just I like to play a lot as opposed to follow somebody else's guidelines for what I should be doing. So essentially, blending, if we're going to take this in a smoothie juice approach and do a comparable comparison, that really didn't sound so good. So we're going to take a comparison of the smoothie and the juicer. So smoothies essentially keep the fiber in the food that you're popping into it. So let's say you want to make a smoothie. Strawberry, banana, kale, ginger, apple, spinach, whatever. I mean, really, the options are unlimited. What the smoothie does is that it is more filling to the body, but it has fiber. So that essentially makes the body work harder because of the amount of fiber that you're consuming. Basically, you're taking it up and doing your body's work for it. So it's processing it. So all you have to do is swallow it. Your body will still take a while to break it down. People who have narrowing of the intestines, dios, other colon-related issues should maybe check with their doctor before doing smoothies. Someone like me, who thought smoothies was the greatest idea ever, worst idea ever. I have so many GI issues, and I just assumed that having the added fiber would be really beneficial to me. Come to find out, Without my smoothies, I was already consuming way too much fiber, to the extent that I was consuming over double what normal people consume. So I had to cut it back substantially and had to kick the smoothies out. The juicer removes the fiber while still retaining the nutrients. Both will give you nutrients. However, when you juice, it's likely that you're going to retain more of the nutrients from the juice because your body is not working as hard to process the fiber, and juicing essentially moves right on through you. Within like 30 minutes of juicing, it's coming out. Whereas a smoothie, it's going to come out, it's just not going to be as quick. So, and juicing, and another thing with juicing is that no, it is not as filling as using a smoothie, but you have two alternatives, and people, I say this often, and I'll say this again, my feelings on juicing, and yes, I do it daily, so my feelings on juice fasts, I'm not a big fan, mainly because I find that a lot of the people lately, because it's so trendy, a lot of unhealthier people, or people that don't necessarily care about their health before they begin this juicing journey, they decide that they're going to juice, they're going to lose weight, they're going to feel amazing. Wrong. Wrong. If your body is already not in a healthy state before you begin juicing, you're going to get sick. You're going to feel very run down. Why is that? Because most people, when they start juicing, they're doing a green detox juice. First and foremost, green juices are incredibly detoxifying for the body. So ideally, it's best to utilize the green juice in the morning, but not only are we detoxifying the body so quickly that people who have this unhealthy diet and you go immediately to this green juice, you're going to be like, I just got hit by a bus and I'm being dragged down the street alongside the bus. So flash forward another day or two, you're feeling worse. You're not feeling better. You're feeling worse. Maybe once you come off the juice and start putting food back in, you'll start to feel better. However, this is where the problems come. So say you do a 3-day juice fast on your unhealthy self. You already don't feel good, so you finally get to put food back in, and you're like, oh my god, I've never eaten in my entire life, so let's just shovel it all back in. Most likely the food that you're going to put back in is not very healthy. So you're just shoveling it in. And even if you're putting healthier things, think of it this way, and I can say this from personal experience, having been starved by my physicians for medical experimentation. Wow, my scoliosis is like showing hardcore here today. Sorry. I just noticed that. Anyway, when you take food, whole foods, out of your diet and you just do juice, water, whatever, tea even, whatever it may be, and you put foods right back in, most people aren't coming right out of a juice fast to softer foods, to regular foods, because essentially if you're going to decide that regardless of what I say you want to do this juice fast, you have to wean your body back into food. So soups, then like mushier foods, like applesauce, I don't even know what else is super mushy, and then like wean it back up in there, add some salads, whatever, and then you add the whole foods again, like your heavy pastas and breads. Most people don't do that, and when you do that, you actually put more duress on your intestines, and when you do that, you risk complications such as obstructions, excess gas, which, by the way, you will experience when you go into a juice fast, especially coming from an unhealthy diet. And that's normal. It's totally normal. But it's just something I'm highly discouraging people to do this juice fast and think that they're going to drop like 15 pounds, because a lot of people on juice fasts, when they do so, they actually end up gaining a little more afterwards, because that uncontrollable urge to eat because you haven't eaten in several days is just problematic, you know? Most people end up not feeling so well. However, that's not to say if you're a very healthy person and you treat your body right, you eat right, you do the right things, the juice fast may be beneficial. Though in my personal opinion, 3 days is the max that you really need to go on a juice fast. I know people who have done it for 30 days and they feel like amazing. And that's super amazing that they have that kind of stamina. I mean, seriously, that is amazing. I do not. I obviously can't, health reasons wise, like that might actually kill me, but I just think 3 days, if you're really adamant about doing it, maybe health up before you go in for the long haul and make sure that you come out with softer foods. And then, like, if we're going to go in the comparison or the why you should have both, you do your 3-day juice fast, then you come over and you puree your foods in the Vitamix. You make your soups, you make your smoothies, and then you wean your body back to whole foods using this Vitamix. It's a great idea. It's a great way to use it. I use my Vitamix since I no longer do smoothies. I make all of my nut milks. I do almond milk, hemp milk, coconut milk. I make everything in here weekly. I make it to my liking. I do a lot of spirulina milk. I make sauces. This gets so much use in the spring and summer. It's not even funny. I make my favorite papaya seed dressing. It is the most amazing thing in the entire world, and I look forward to warmer weather solely so I can use this guy. I use it every week. I make this dressing every single week in the spring and the summer. I make soups in here. I make other dips and sauces. I make vegan and raw cashew cheeses. So this gets a ton of use. Maybe not on a daily basis the way that my juicer does, because my juicer gets used up to like 6 times a day. But this at least gets several days a week use throughout the year, and in the spring and the summer the use just skyrockets. I've even gone as far to make a vegan raw eggnog in my Vitamix over the holidays. So there are so many possibilities with using this Vitamix. This will not, just an FYI, this will not replace your food processor. Some people think it will. It will not. This is a blender. It's a really nice blender. So essentially you have your speed control from 0 to 10, and then you have it high or variable, which is your standard speed, and then you jack it up to high, and that like purees the crap out of your food. The one thing I love about this Vitamix with making soups especially is that it heats your soup in it. And as it heats your soup, you don't even have to put it on the stove. Granted, most of you, I'm sure, are cooking a lot of the items before you pop it in. But if you're making a raw soup, which, again, I use my juicer and my Vitamix to make all of my raw soups, I make this amazing carrot cashew soup. So it's got a good amount of fat, but it also has a lot of health benefits. Carrots are, like, incredible for the body and digestive area. So I try to do carrots in my juice every day because it is so beneficial to the belly. So essentially what I do is I juice my carrots. I make a cashew milk base for this, and then I add things like jalapenos, garlic, ginger, whatever I want. And I either juice some of them or put some in here, and then sometimes I even do half and half. I have a very severe issue with carrots that I cannot eat them raw. I cannot eat them pureed like this. They have to be juiced. So for me, always, 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 I have to juice my carrots before I add it in here. I could have a lot of issues where it could cause another surgery, so no carrots. So essentially, I use this for cooking purposes per se, or sauce dip making purposes. I'm going to take you over there to show you my juicer. Maybe I'll bring it over here. I may bring it over here. But I have a juicing station set up over there, and I'm going to show you my juicer. And I just want to talk a bit about juicing, even coming from a raw standpoint. So before I pop over there to show you how it works, my juicer and I are like best friends. And the reason why I purchased the Omega 8006, it's the same model as the 8004, it just is a little more expensive and it has a silver coating. I figured if I'm looking at something for the long haul, I want something that I want and I don't want a white one. I have heard that the white ones stain a bit from juicing, so I just thought it'd be beneficial that I take the 8006, and I have not had staining issues. So The importance with juicing. For the longest time, I had always wanted the Breville juicer. I don't even remember which one I wanted, but I just wanted a Breville juicer. Like, in my opinion, I thought they were the best things in the world until I really took the time to educate myself. Thank you to John at discountjuicers.com. He has an amazing YouTube page, OK Raw. He's beyond educated me. Really, truly beyond educated me. Now, it came down to the Omega 8006 and the Omega VRT, something like that. I ultimately decided that the 8006 was for me. One of his videos compared two of them. He compares them both very frequently. But one of his videos, he had said that if you want the most nutritional value, though it may take a little longer, that you're going to want to go with the 8006. I don't care about taking longer. I care about the nutritional value. I don't even care if my yield is slightly less than another. I care about the nutritional value of what I'm getting. The thing about the Omega juicers, not all of them, but the majority of them, they are slow masticating juicers, which means you're not oxidizing your fruits and vegetables as quick as you would in a faster juicer. You're getting more nutrients. Even if it is slightly faster, you're still getting more nutrients. You're most likely yielding more liquid product, if you will, from the fruits and vegetables that you may juice. Now, it does come model by model. It does come with, the notion of the 8006 was more ideal for somebody making something or juicing something harder fruits and vegetables. Yes, sometimes I put softer things in there. I don't have a problem, but the majority of my juicing is green or vegetables, so it makes perfect sense to take the Omega 6 or 8006. The Omega VRT is a juicer for anything, really. Also, the fact that the 8006 is an easier cleanup process than the VRT, that sold me a little bit more as well. You will see so many of the raw foodists and many of the raw YouTubers that swear by the new VRT, and that's really great. But again, when it comes to juicing, it comes down to what you're juicing, what your pros and cons are, because your pro and con list may be different than the pros and cons of someone else, and ultimately what best suits you. So I really was torn for quite a bit, but the minute he said you're going to get the most nutrient value from the 8006 versus any of the other Omegas, it sold me. Not to mention that their warranty is 15 years, I believe. That's the longest warranty of all juicers, like anywhere. And for someone like me who looks at an electronic and it just breaks without rhyme or reason, selling point. I need the longest warranty ever. Thus far, I have not had a single problem with it. I think it's like the most amazing thing ever. It will jam from time to time, and I've actually seen a video where it jammed on him, so they do have a backup, so it will push it back up. The only time it ever jams for me is when I do anything with flax seeds, if I'm pouring too quickly, or if I have a carrot that's too big and I wasn't estimating the width of the hole. That's the other thing that some people have issues with, that the 8004, 8006 model, the hole to put your fruits and vegetables in is the most narrow. Yes, it requires a little more prep time. Again, I don't really care about the prep time. I don't care about how long it takes to juice something. I care about the products that it's yielding, and I feel very strongly about what my juicer yields. Not to mention the 8006 is great for other things other than just juicing. They have a blank plate which doesn't juice, it actually throws it through. So if I want to take coffee, not that I ever drink it, but if for some reason somebody needed coffee beans ground, I can do that. When making my flax seeds, I take the flax seeds and I grind them up in there, and then I make my flaxseed crackers. I do that through my dehydrator, so everything's raw when it comes to the flaxseed crackers. I also tend to take the excess from my juicing, some of the pulp from my juicing, and throw that in the crackers too. Or if I'm not going to juice it, I actually will take a more moist pulp from my Omega 8006. I know this is said to make salsa. However, I find that I can never get salsa without it being like liquid mush out of this thing. Maybe I just don't utilize it to its potential, but I get the most killer salsa out of my Omega 8006. I mean, the most amazing. It also has different spouts, so if I wanted to make my own pasta, I could do it out of that as well. I've made my own ice cream, a banana-based ice cream. I've made sorbets. The 8006 in my mind is just like mecca. Like, it is the best of the best. This guy is great for so many other reasons. Like my Omega 8006 is not going to make soup, but my Vitamix, that's going to make me some soup. So, in reality, I need both. I have reason for both. But if you're looking for one reason versus the other, what I say to you, what will be better for you? I can say that for me, if I had to pick just one, hands down I would go for the juicer. But my scenario is very different than probably most of you out there. You probably can consume fiber without an issue. I cannot. So it really does come down to what better suits you. Granted, I use them both regularly. Multiple times a week, multiple times a day. So I'm going to take you over there, show you how the juicer works, and I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, so this is my 8006 Omega juicer, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to put it together and what it comes with. So you got your juicing plate here, so you see the holes where the juice will come out, and then the blank plate. And this again is great for sauces, grinding seeds, coffees, making sorbets, pastas, salsas. You can do so much with the blank plate. But for today's purpose, we're going to use the plate for juicing. So what you do is you put in your grinder, throw in your juicing plate. Normally I never have problems. It's because I'm filming this. Okay, so put that in, put your lid on, pop it in, and lock it. And then you have your lovely pusher, my favorite piece. Okay, so today's juice, I'm just juicing everything but the kitchen sink. It is heavy on the greens, but there is a little bit of fruit in it. Juicers are meant to break everything up for you, so ideally you don't really have to de-seed anything. The only thing I suggest de-seeding, and I had no idea, again I learned this from John from discountjuicers.com, de-seed your apples. Even if your juicer can break it down, even if you're blending, de-seed those apples, because apparently apple seeds contain a certain amount of cyanide. Again, we don't know if it's really enough to like kill us, but maybe if you're juicing daily, blending, doing smoothies daily, de-seeding your apples would be a great option. I don't know where it is, but I have a de-seeder. It's like a hole you just punch through your apple. Good to go. You can just chop it, pop it in. We're ready to roll. So what I have today is like 5 pounds in here of Swiss chard, spinach, kale, dandelion greens, apple, some grapes, beets, carrots, celery. I think that's it. Beets, for some of you, as you may know, have a very high sugar content. It's very, very, very detoxifying. So when I have beets, if I do beet juice, it's only once a day. It's very detoxifying, and that's why I do it. Normally, I would not seek out a beet unless it's to juice. So let's get started, and you'll actually get to hear how quiet the juicer is. The juicer's running right now. It's pretty quiet. So I've cleaned them, but apparently I haven't cleaned them super well, but they're good enough. So now you just take your presser, you pop it in. What is recommended with this juicer is to actually do your carrots last. You want to take the hardest fruit or vegetable that you have. Ideally, carrots are the best. Oh, I also have a lemon to put in here, and ginger. You take the carrots last because it pushes any excess fruit or vegetable that's stuck here in the shaft, pushes it through. Leave it run for a few minutes once you're finished, because when you do that, you actually get the rest of the juice that's sitting in there, because sometimes the juice doesn't fully go through immediately. You have to give it a few seconds. So now we're adding some of the greens, some apples. Again, this is a juicer that's really great if you have family and you want to juice every morning, or you have roommates. You're not going to wake anybody up with this. Again, I have a studio style setup here. My husband and I, obviously since it's studio, the kitchen area is in the living room area, the bedroom area, it's all in one room, so he sleeps through me juicing every morning. It's not too bad. Granted, he could probably sleep through a bomb dropping, but it's really not that loud, especially when I run my dehydrator and the juicer. These are the beets. These are going to be just a little bit louder. Adding the ginger now. I will run a carrot through from time to time just to make sure whatever's gunking it up, because sometimes I find that apples tend to gunk it up a little bit. Best to use the hardest apples you can find, but it will still juice anything. Something that's key here for those of you who are concerned about pulp is that there is a strainer right here. This strainer collects some of the excess pulp, and that is super crucial to removing as much pulp as possible. If you're doing this as like a major detox for your body, I highly recommend removing as much pulp as you can, because the pulp is going to weigh down a little bit on your organs and it will slow the detoxification process. Also, your stomach could pay for it a little bit. I always say this coming from a standard or a GI problem. So anything that you can do to prevent any duress on your intestines, especially while trying to detox, it's highly recommended. Okay, so we're almost done here. Hasn't been too loud. I'll actually find out if that's true when I edit this video. So we're going to throw in the last 2 carrots. And so this juice, again, it had spinach, collard, what else? Spinach, collard, kale, dandelion greens, carrots, beets, apple, lemon, ginger, cucumber, no, not cucumber, celery. So everything but the kitchen sink. As you can see, I'm letting it run for a few extra seconds just to get some excess juice. I don't know if you can see it dripping. You probably can't see it that far. So I'm going to turn it off now. And then what I like to do is tilt it a little bit and you get excess liquids. So then I take my strainer, tap it down, get the excess juice that's left in it. I actually want to show you the amount of pulp that it did collect. All that's pulp, excess pulp. Even though you're juicing, you still get a decent amount of pulp. So if you love yourself some pulp, then don't put the strainer in. Also, I want to point out that the pulp from this juicer here, I mean literally, it just clumps in your hand. There is no liquid remaining in this juice. It's dry as a bone. You could take this even and turn this into flaxseed crackers. Use this as a nice pulpy base for your flaxseed crackers. Cleanup's really easy. What I'm going to do now is show you the results. This is going to be a more red style juice because of the beets. Anytime I juice beets, even if it's golden beets, the juice ends up more golden than green or any other color that I use. My hair is like a disaster today, guys. So yes. Very good. I added a lot of ginger. One more thing I want to mention, juicing, blending, whatever you do, try to do as much organic as possible. It's really important because the amount of pesticides that are on food, I know that you clean your fruits and vegetables before you juice and blend them, obviously, but the amount of pesticides that actually are on your fruits and vegetables is incredibly high. If you do anything, just use that top 10 list of organic produce. If that's the only organics that you buy, just try to stick with that top 10 list of produce that's important that you switch to organic. Everything that I juice and purchase is organic. I'm super crazy about that. Most of the food that I buy is organic. I try to stay as organic as possible. Ideally, one day I'd love to have a garden without my cats peeing on it. By the way, that happened last summer. Or 2 summers ago, had this gorgeous garden happening with like crazy fruits and vegetables, and we had a deck. So we lived in a condo, so we had a deck, and I had them all around the deck. And you know, my cats like to sit out on the deck during the warmer days, so I let them. And our youngest cat decided that that was going to be his litter box and destroyed my gorgeous plants. So plant with caution. My advice, plant with caution. So this juicer here runs at $2.95, $2.99, I believe. My opinion, worth every penny. I use this often. It yields such great juice. And something I want to show you is look at the minimal amount of froth up here. I mean, very bare min. And this is crucial because it tells you how well your juicer's juicing. The more foam and froth you have, the less nutritious it is. Granted, you're juicing. So if you're juicing in general, you are getting some serious benefits. But if you're looking for optimal juicing benefits, the least... Do you see this, guys? Do you see what's happening here? I don't even know. The least amount of froth, the better. Now, that being said, this juice here is not warm at all. Another thing to be concerned about the fast juicers is that it warms your produce, which takes away the raw enzymes and the benefits of having a raw juice. So even though it's juicing, you're still getting those health benefits. Ideally, you want a slow masticating juicer because the slower it is, the higher the yield, the higher nutrition. So it's just something to think about. If you're juicing just to get some juice in you, then okay, a cheapie is great. But if you're really looking for something that's going to be amazing long term, you want it for years and years to come, slow masticating juicer. This is the 8006 and it is highly recommended. Now I do want to tell you, I have a deal for you on the Vitamix. I don't have a discount, but if you go to Vitamix, purchase off the website, or you can call them, it's 800-848-2649. You can use the code 06-007354. That will get you free shipping. And I mean, even though it's not a discount off of the actual machine itself, that will save you a good amount of money just to get the free shipping. I will include that below, so in case you didn't get it, you'll be able to check it out below, and you'll be able to use that code to buy yourself a nice Vitamix. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount on this, but I believe you can purchase directly through Omega, or you can purchase through discountjuicers.com for free shipping. I know this exceeds the free shipping minimum, so highly recommended. You can also check the Omega VRT out as well. Maybe that's your jam. But for me, this has created such a delicious juice, and it wasn't even a long process. What was it, 5 minutes that I spent juicing like 5 pounds of juice? Like, I don't know, not so bad. So, one more thing I want to talk about. I know I'm rambling like crazy, so I hope that if you are still with me, you are still watching me here. I just want to briefly touch on juicing. As you know, the cleanse whole scenario is popular, and I get it, but, you know, all I just say is that benefits of juicing is that you're getting highly, highly concentrated or vitamins and minerals, so that does get killed as you heat your fruits and vegetables. So again, slower, it's not going to heat it. Even in the Vitamix, because it's so fast, it might heat your juice a little bit, so you are going to or your smoothie a little bit, so you will kill off some of the vitamins and minerals. Fresh juice, it's way easier to digest than whole foods. Again, that's because of the fiber content. So making smoothies, it's going to be a little bit harder to digest. And that is again why I pick juicing over smoothies, but I use my Vitamix for sauces and soups and cheeses. So again, it's just about what you're looking for. When you juice, you're retaining the same amount of nutrients, maybe even a little more, without activating your body's digestion. And that's kind of crucial in the whole juicing detox process if people are looking to take that route. They say juicing decreases weight. I believe it if you're going to go on a cleanse. Obviously, this is the only thing coming in and going out, and you're not activating the digestion process. So it's just going right through you. Honestly, I like juicing for the fact that it provides me more energy, and I don't have to go pop some sugar-laden coffee or chino beverages to get a burst of energy if I just want to juice. I do have to say that if you do juice, it's best to consume your beverage within 30 minutes. If you can't, that's okay. You're still going to get more nutrients, but the best and highest amount of nutrients retained is within 30 minutes of juicing. If you're making it for work like I do, I don't know where the lid part, but I use ball jar lids, and those are airtight, so I seal them as soon as I'm done juicing, so I still retain the maximum. And I want to fill it up as high to the top as possible, because the more air you let in, the more air hits your juice. So you want less air to hit your juice if you're airtight sealing your beverages. So again, juicing removes the fiber, blending gives you fiber, hard produce, kale, Swiss chard, carrots, celery, apples, fennel, so much better juiced. If you're looking to blend, I highly recommend avocados, pineapple, and berries. They're great in the Vitamix. However, it's totally not impossible to juice them in here because, believe me, I've juiced all of the above. Well, not an avocado, but I have made avocado sorbet / ice cream. It was delightful. And if you're looking to get full, the Vitamix and making smoothies is definitely the way to go. If you're looking as a meal replacement, that's certainly the way to go because you're still technically consuming the whole foods. It's just broken down, making it a little bit easier to pass through your stomach. So, 2 different machines, 2 different reasons to use them. I, again, am more prone to the juicer, but in my opinion, there's more health retention from a juicer. But I love my Vitamix. I use it so often. I use it on many different items. So, again, it's just what you're looking for, what benefits. If you're looking for both, awesome. I recommend both. If you have the money to do so, I recommend both. But if you're looking for just one, you have to figure out which one is going to suit your needs, all of your needs, the best. So I hope this has helped some of you. I can come back and do some cooking vlogs for you if that's what you'd like. I can do a juice or salsa, ice cream, whatever your heart desires vlog on the Omega. I can do soups, sauces, cheeses, milks, whatever you'd like on the Vitamix. I can use the Vitamix and the Omega to do a soup if you'd like, so please leave comments below. I am actually excited to see if this was help to any of you, and if so, if you'd like me to do cooking vids, I'm more than happy to do it. So until next time, please take the time, hit subscribe up above, follow my blog, Cupcakes, Rings, and Glittery Things. It will soon be called the Vegan Vixen blog. Instagram me at the Vegan Vixen. Tweet me at glitterythings_, and you can tumble with me at Cupcakes, Rings, and Glittery Things. Thank you so much. Sorry about the hair. I think I'll be apologizing until I grow this side out. So we're going to be apologizing for about 2 or 3 months before my hair looks normal again. Mwah. Bye guys, I love you.